The hidden nightmare of European carmakers does not come from China Texto. Forget absolutely everything you have learned or assumed about the Indian automotive industry until today. If you spend your days analyzing the meteoric rise of Chinese brands like BYD, Great Wall Motors, XPeng, or Zeekr, and firmly believe that the biggest market challenge for traditional giants like the Volkswagen Group, Stellantis, or BMW comes exclusively from the Beijing axis, you are looking at the wrong coordinate on the global map of automotive geopolitics. What the world has just witnessed with the real impact test of the new Tata Sierra EV was not just an isolated demonstration of safety engineering, but a clear, undeniable warning that the next major disruption of the global car market has already begun. And it originates in Mumbai, before the classic mistake of judging the vehicle by its nationality is made. It is crucial to establish the undeniable credentials of exactly who is behind this project. Tata Motors is not an adventurous startup trying to figure out how to build a utility vehicle in a backyard workshop, nor are they a new tech company learning automotive manufacturing from scratch. We are talking about the multi-billion-pound industrial conglomerate that bought, rescued, and restructured Jaguar and Land Rover from the Ford Motor Company in 2008. They have held full control of these British icons for more than 15 years, turning them into highly profitable entities. All the accumulated knowledge in advanced metallurgy, the utilization of high-strength aluminium alloys, the dynamic calibration of independent air suspensions, and the complex embedded software architecture that you find in a latest generation Range Rover Defender or a Jaguar I-Pace flows directly, continuously and strategically into Tata's own product development centers. The contemporary consumer is no longer interested in traditional brand legacies that charge exorbitant premium prices for outdated technologies. The public demands robust, extremely technological, structurally flawless vehicles that deliver real value for the money invested. And the Indian domestic market has proven that it has learned this lesson much faster than the complacent boards of directors in Wolfsburg or Paris would care to admit. Let us conduct a rigorous forensic analysis of what is undeniably the main calling card of this launch, the severe, real-world collision test, where the vehicle is intentionally squeezed between two loaded heavy-duty trucks. In a real road scenario, particularly on the unforgiving highways of emerging markets, an impact of this magnitude is usually fatal. It typically results in catastrophic entrapment of the occupants due to the complete collapse of the passenger cabin's structural pillars and the failure of the roof rails. However, when observing the program deformation of the Actiabors EV platform developed by Tata, we notice a kinetic energy absorption that borders on absolute mechanical perfection. The rear truck hits the SUV at a considerable speed, but the brutal deceleration forces are entirely managed by the external sacrificial crumple zones. The engineering team utilized hot-stamped boron steel in the B-pillars and ultra-high-strength steel alloys across the floor pan matrix. As a result, the survival cell of the passengers remains strictly intact, without any intrusion of rigid components into the internal space. The ultimate indicator of this architecture's success is the fact that all four doors maintain their functional alignment and can be opened manually without the aid of heavy hydraulic rescue tools immediately after the collision. But the greatest triumph of this hidden engineering lies in the management of the high-voltage battery pack positioned in the floorboards. In multi-directional impacts of this severe level, the risk of structural intrusion into the lithium-ion cells and subsequent thermal runaway, resulting in an uncontrollable chemical fire, is the absolute greatest fear in electric vehicle engineering. To mitigate this catastrophic risk, the engineers integrated an ultra-fast acting pyrofuse system that isolates the traction circuit in less than 5 milliseconds after the very first signal from the deceleration sensors. There is no smoke emission, no residual electrical sparks, and the chemical stability of the pack is entirely preserved. Added to this, the active driver assistance systems, powered by millimeter-wave radars and high-definition optical sensors, operated at the absolute limit of physics to autonomously apply maximum braking force even before the initial impact, drastically reducing the total kinetic energy that the physical structure needed to dissipate. If the external structural analysis reveals a vehicle built like a true armored vehicle for the harsh and unpredictable conditions of the road, the internal environment breaks completely with any preconceived notion of austerity or low-cost manufacturing. The cockpit of the vehicle is a technological statement of intent dominated by a 3-screen digital layout of high-resolution displays that operate integrated through a next-generation high-speed data bus. The major competitive advantage lies in the introduction of the Advanced Entertainment Suite, aimed exclusively at the front passenger. This specific display not only replicates standard navigation or media functions, but possesses massive native graphic processing capacity to run complex electronic games directly on the car's internal operating system. This allows the seamless connection of wireless control peripherals for high-fidelity entertainment during charging periods at fast stations. For those behind the wheel, the driving experience is optimized by a state-of-the-art, second-generation augmented reality head-up display. Instead of forcing the driver to take their eyes off the tarmac to check maps on secondary central screens, the system projects 3-dimensional navigation vectors that seem to float dynamically over the actual road lanes ahead. This system works in continuous conjunction with thermal scanning cameras and artificial intelligence algorithms for the predictive detection of pedestrians and animals on the edge of the road, highlighting these obstacles in bright warning tones directly in the driver's field of vision, long before the main LED headlamps can physically illuminate the danger. In addition to this digital sophistication, the energy flexibility of the electric powertrain fundamentally redefines the use of the automobile through advanced bi-directional charging systems of both the vehicle-to-load and vehicle-to-vehicle type. In practical terms, the utility vehicle functions as a mobile power station capable of supplying up to 3.3 kilowatts of pure alternating current to power industrial tools, camping equipment, or even emergency domestic grids during a power cut. Even more impressive is the energy transfer capability between vehicles, allowing the model to rescue other discharged electric cars in the middle of isolated motorways with a continuous transfer rate of up to 5 kilowatts, effectively turning the SUV into a high-capacity mobile rescue unit. The immense sophistication of screens and electronic features would completely lose its meaning if the vehicle did not present a refined driving dynamic and a mechanical durability that lives up to the rigorous standards of the most demanding global markets. It is precisely at this point that the direct transfer of Land Rover's genetic off-road technology manifests itself unquestionably. The model adopts a highly efficient configuration of dual electric motors mounted individually on the front and rear axles, setting up a permanent all-wheel drive system on demand, without the need for heavy and slow mechanical couplings. This specific arrangement delivers an immediate, brutal linear torque of 504 Newton-meters, propelling the heavy SUV from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 5.8 seconds. An acceleration rate that easily surpasses the vast majority of utility vehicles equipped with turbocharged internal combustion engines currently sold in Europe. To validate the extreme robustness of this powertrain assembly in severe stress scenarios, the development prototypes were subjected to exhaustive, punishing testing cycles in the towering dunes of Tal Morib in the United Arab Emirates. This location is widely considered one of the most hostile desert regions on the planet for testing the limits of thermal management, battery cooling, and mechanical filtration systems. The electronic traction management acts in perfect harmony with frequency-selective adaptive dampers, adjusting the rigidity and travel of the suspension set in milliseconds according to the changing terrain. For absolute precision, maneuvers on rocky trails or in complex underground multi-story car parks, the vehicle utilizes a 540-degree camera coverage. This system processes the live optical feeds to create a flawless transparent chassis effect on the central screen, allowing the driver to view with mathematical accuracy the exact relief and hidden obstacles directly below the tires and the protective sump. However, the most audacious move that completely validates the manufacturer's confidence in the long-term durability of its product is the application of a 15-year contractual warranty for the high-voltage battery pack for the first owner. While the regulatory standard of the European, Dutch, American, and Chinese automotive industry has comfortably stagnated at the traditional 8-year coverage, Tata's decision to extend this period by a full decade and a half proves the absolute efficiency of their new liquid thermal management systems and the extremely low rate of chemical degradation projected for their battery cells. Once all the technical, structural, and technological aspects of the product are thoroughly understood, it remains to decipher the brilliant commercial enigma that will enable its immediate global expansion into the most protected and heavily regulated markets on the planet. While European nations and the United States desperately erect colossal tariff walls that impose severe, punishing customs duties on electric vehicles produced in China, a desperate measure to try to save their own local manufacturing industry from an imminent collapse, the Tata Group has executed a flawless diplomatic and commercial maneuver behind the scenes of international trade. Taking full advantage of the strategic clauses of the recent Comprehensive Free Trade Agreement, ratified between the governments of India and the United Kingdom, the Indian car maker has quietly secured export quotas for electrified vehicles with total exemption from import duties for British territory. The executive command of Tata's passenger cars division itself has already confirmed to the global press that their massive assembly lines are currently operating under strict international homologation guidelines, specifically tailored for the UK market. Because the Indian domestic market and the British market historically share the exact same right-hand drive configuration, the industrial cost of re-engineering for cabin component conversion is virtually nil. Once the UK border is successfully crossed without the burden of paying any punitive customs tariffs, Tata instantly comes to have the ideal logistical and commercial base to distribute its vehicles throughout the rest of the European continent, and subsequently begin its strategic expansion towards the highly lucrative markets of the Americas. Western economic protectionism designed a massive legislative barrier to contain the aggressive onslaught of Chinese brands through the front door of European ports, but they completely failed to foresee that India, fully armed with the intellectual property of Land Rover's classic engineering and supported by highly competitive domestic production costs, would find the way entirely clear through the back doors of international trade agreements. The global launch of this model definitively consolidates a harsh new reality, where oldie, traditional legacy brands will urgently need to compete for space with vehicles that deliver significantly more rigid structures, greater technological density, and utterly unprecedented warranty periods for retail values that the Western market simply cannot replicate anymore.